This area used to be known for pastoral countryside and old-fashioned charm. But in the last decade, it's changed. Charlotte has become a major financial center and expanded. And immigrants came to work in the building boom here. Latino community activist Angeles Ortega Moore drives through Charlotte's changed neighborhoods.
At one point, this used to be a middle-income to upper-income community here. It was very much an in place to be. And little by little has sort of become, and the demographic has changed. So there's a very popular area for Latinos, and still a pretty high African-American population living in this area.
Charlotte's Latino population has more than doubled, and other minority groups have also grown.
Now you'll start seeing a little bit now, a lot of the Spanish languages and the signs. This seems to be the Salvadorian quarter, the El Pulgarcito. Then you have a Middle Eastern place, and then the Mexican, a Vietnamese restaurant.
Ortega Moore says the immigrants were welcomed at first.
As the people began to change, there were needs in the community as far as education, of services for the community. Then that's when people started noticing, oh, wait a second, what do you mean all of a sudden we have to put money onto these programs for bilingual programs?
She says she hopes the census will help to bring new resources to this area. Because the census does not just draw new electoral districts for Congress. It's also used to distribute hundreds of billions of dollars for new roads, schools, and hospitals. The U.S. Census Bureau is headquartered just outside Washington. Management Division Chief Frank Vitrano has spent years planning this year's count.
The census itself only has 10 questions, but they're important questions. Age, race, sex, Hispanic origin. These are data that are used to really help us understand what does our country look like? How are we aging? Where are we geographically in the country?
In order to do that, the Census Bureau has printed 130 million forms and mailed them out across America. It's conducting a huge ad campaign and it's sending people across America to explain the census. Here in Charlotte, not all people feel the changes of the past decade are for the better.
When I came here, it was better than this. Too many people don't come in. People coming from everywhere.
Right now, if you weren't from Charlotte, you couldn't find your way around. If you left for just 5 years, you couldn't find your way around no more.
Still, census officials say it's important that everyone is counted. William Fry is a demographer at the Brookings Institution in Washington. He says most Americans do like getting information about who we are as a nation.
There's just an intrinsic curiosity in the United States about this. And so the census is seen as this huge goldmine of statistics that people can use to get this information.
And Charlotte is indicative of the transformation that has occurred in America's heartland over the last 10 years. America has long been a melting pot of people from all over the world. But until now, most of the melting in the latest wave of immigration occurred in big coastal cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. The 2010 census will let us know to what extent that has happened in the rest of America. Jerome Socolovsky, VOA News, Charlotte, North Carolina.